Today's video is going to be a little bit different to normal. Normally this video would be me versus myself, so my first attempt versus my second attempt. For those that were unaware, actually sustained an injury during my first attempt to my hamstring, which obviously meant that I could not participate in this workout. Hopefully, depending on the workout next week, I may be able to do some portion of it, but hamstring isn't fantastic. So what I'm doing here, I just needed basically footage to put this voiceover to. So what I'm doing in the background here is a scaled version basically of the workout. So I'm doing 40 cals on the bike. The bike actually felt fine. I had the seat a little bit lower than normal, so I didn't have any ill effects during or after doing this particular workout. I did tweak my hamstring attempting bar muscle up, or not attempting a bar muscle up, doing a bar muscle up. It was just too much on the hamstring during the kip phase. So my plan was actually just to do the gymnastics to show you guys those particular movements and how I would go about it, but I found out very quickly that the bar muscle ups, the toes to bar, and the chest to bar, even though I do chest to bar in this particular workout, as you'll see, it's not very efficient, and definitely hinders me on the chest to bar. So what I'm doing here, 40 calories on the bike, 30 keeping knee raises, 20 chest to bar pull-ups, and 10 burpee strict pull-ups, and then another 40 cals on the bike there. So for those that didn't see the first video, my strategy going into this particular workout was to break the first set of thrusters up into 15, 10, 8 and 7. For the toes to bar, again breaking it up into 3 sets, 12, 10 and 8. For the chest to bar pull-ups, I was going to do them unbroken, so all 20. For the bar muscle ups, I was looking at doing 6 and 4. Now, depending on how I was feeling on that particular day and at that particular point, it might have been 6, 2 and 2, sort of at 2 quick sets with very little rest, more just sort of coming down off the bar to rest the hands. And then for the thrusters, it was going to be just wait and see basically how I was feeling at that particular time. I was looking at doing smaller sets, so 5s, possibly maybe a little bit more like 6 or 7, but definitely smaller sets. Now, moving on to what I was planning on doing for my second attempt. Now, obviously a lot of that had to do with how I performed during my first attempt, and how I was feeling on that, how I felt from that first attempt. Now, for those that watched the very short video of me on my first attempt during the thrusters, you noticed that I didn't stick to those sets. That had to do with me pushing a little bit hard on my conditioning piece the day before, but I'm definitely more than capable of achieving the 15, 10, 8 and 7. I know this because I have done it before and have done it recently, so I was very confident and definitely capable of doing those sets. Now, what I would have done different in my second attempt would have been 15, 15 and 10, so less sets with the same amount of rest that I would have had with those 4 sets. For the toes to bar in my second attempt, I was planning on doing 2 sets of 15. Again, something I'm capable of, something that I have done recently, so I was confident that I was able to do the 2 sets of 15 for the toes to bar. Going into the chest to bar, again, that was to remain the same, so unbroken, and then pretty much the remainder of the workout was going to be the same. So the bar muscle ups were going to be the 6 and 4, depending on how I was feeling, maybe 6, 2 and 2. And then for the last set of thrusters was just whatever I can do, whatever I can string together at that particular time. So most of the strategy changes from the first attempt to the second attempt were actually in the first 2 sets, to sort of gain some more time there, to give me more time to either finish the workout or get more reps for those thrusters. I was going to attack my first and second attempt. So moving to this next section of the video, giving you guys an understanding of how I go about strategizing for me, and what you could do for this workout or workouts coming up. So for me, a lot of my strategy comes from knowing where I'm at and what have I done recently. So for instance, knowing where I'm at, I know for instance I don't have any issues with skill. So what I mean by that is I can do all the movements required to complete the workout. Now, do I have the fitness, strength, muscular endurance, those type of things? That's obviously a lot harder to answer. So knowing that, looking at the thrusters, I am capable of doing a thruster at that weight, knowing that I can do all 40 at that weight, and then again with the gymnastics, knowing I can perform and complete those reps as well. Now obviously the art of it comes into how are you going to attack it. So for instance, do you need to break up those thrusters? Do you need to break up those toes to bar? Do you need to break up the chest to bar? Can you do all 10 of the bar muscle ups unbroken? And this is part of the reason why I started doing these videos, because most of the stuff that's on the internet before I started doing this was just the top athletes or the games athletes putting up videos of their attempts, and their strategy was quite simple: do everything unbroken as fast as they can. Now that wasn't very relatable to myself or many of the other 99.9% of the participants doing that same workout. So learning where you're at, what have you done recently, comes into play. Now, for more particularly for this workout, for those that struggle with gymnastics, doing singles is a fantastic way to keep moving through those reps. A lot of people think that doing bigger sets is the only way or the best way to do it, which isn't necessarily the case. Generally, for some people that are pushing really hard, their heart rate, especially coming off the thrusters, the heart rate's higher, so therefore doing bigger sets will only keep that heart rate increasing, meaning that when you do stop for that on that set, that your rest is generally going to be longer. So you hear me talk about this a lot in my videos, where I really talk about the rest. So making sure that I'm having a short amount of rest. If that means that I have to break it up more, and that's generally what I do on my first attempts, I break it up more, trying to keep that rest shorter, and then on the second attempt maybe drop a set and keep that same rest. So doing singles is a good option. There was a video by Arm & Hammer a few years ago in an open workout where there was high volume reps, and he was actually completing the workout in a faster time than people that were doing bigger sets on the toaster bar. So it just goes to show that doing singles can be a good strategy for those people that have trouble linking their movement. So linking chest to bar, linking toes to bar, linking bar muscle ups. Now, having said that though, obviously they do have to be fast singles, so you can't do a single and then rest for 10 seconds, do a single, rest for 10 seconds. Those fast singles literally come down off the bar, turn around, or put your hand straight back up and grab the bar and go again. Those singles, fast singles, is what I'm talking about there. Now if you have issues with your fitness level, and that means you do need to put a little bit of rest in between those singles, you can only do your best at that particular time. We don't have a time machine. We can't go back and work harder the year before or the year leading into that workout. So you can only do what you're given with, or where you're at that particular time. So that's where obviously training is super important for both skill, work, and fitness, and obviously strength as well. And that's what we train for, basically. So moving forward, coming up with strategies that work best for you comes down to a few different things. First one is knowing where you're at currently, or leading into that workout. There's no point saying, oh yeah, I'm going to do everything unbroken as fast as I can, if you can't do that. So how do you know what works best for you? It goes back to your training. So knowing, or what have you done previously? Have you done 40 thrusters at 45 kilo or 35 kilo, whatever it is for the ladies? Have you done it before? How did you feel? How did you break it up? Now, it doesn't have to be exactly the same workout, but you can take bits and pieces from a different workout. You know, how do you feel doing 30 toes to bar? How do you break it up? So it's just knowing yourself and knowing what you have done recently, and just putting in the time to train. When it comes to the skill work, it's just simply putting in the time, making sure that you do that skill work every day until you're able to do all the movements. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. It is a little bit different to what I normally do. Obviously having the hamstring injury has forced me to change it up a little bit, so hopefully you got something out of this video. If you did, leave a comment, and I will see you on the next one. Till next WOD.